Previously on the Frontier Farmer. We've been loading up some of our produce to take to the settlement. So that's the milk all deposited into the dairy. So we'll head on back to the homestead and it's on to drilling now. Okay, yeah, I'm not really liking this, but we can give it a go and see how we get on. I think just doing that field has convinced me that I don't want to keep this drill any longer. But we will empty this, get it sold, and then I look forward to purchasing a new drill come next season. But next we need to get rid of some weeds that are in field 3 and 4 in our corn and sugar beets. Raising up, and we're weed free. Fantastic! We've got 2 fields drilled, one with soybean and one with sorghum. Now we will have to weed those next month after they have germinated. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. We're now in June, and I've been over to the old Forestry Commission depot this morning to pick up the Lizard D745. And that's because we really are in need of another truck. But more importantly, the production zone is in need of a truck. Derek has been borrowing our red Fiat, I think it is, although I've been calling it the Iveco. And the Forestry Commission aren't really using this truck, so I've opted to go and pinch it to make use of it over in our production zone. Now I'm going to have to change the number plate so it's more befitting. There we go, and you'll notice I've called it Riverways because that is the name I've elected for our production zone. I didn't have any name suggestions, so I decided to go with Riverways because it runs along the river that feeds the lake. Now I've also bought the blue and cream bus over and parked it near the garage so the settlers can use it if they need to bus themselves around. But let's head on over the bridge into Riverways, and yes, I need to place a signpost really, calling it as such. There we go, Riverways. I think that's quite a nice name. And I always do like coming up with funny and funky names to call the different areas of the Dark Forest. And yes, we can see to the left there is a river there, which we will have to bridge up at some point, so we've got a different route into the production zone. But round here is where we need to swap our trucks, because Derek has been using our red Fiat to shunt some of the logs around into the paper mill and other productions. So we will leave this here for him, and this truck is dedicated to the production zone now, so we can jump back in. It is the Iveco, but it is a Fiat, so I was right on both counts. Start her up and drop the trailer off, and we'll get this back over to the homestead, so it is over on our side of the water. And over this bridge to the roundabout, and this is where in the future I would like to extend this road beyond the roundabout up past there over that little creek, and we can create another bridge that runs into the production area, Riverways, and that will just mean that we don't have to cut into the settlement too often, as yeah, we don't want to be moving big trucks in and around there too often, as it makes a lot of noise and we're probably likely to strike someone's front garden. Right, we'll get this truck parked up And then it's on to some weeding, because Burfield and Stone Endfield, where we have our soybeans and sorghum, they need some weeding, but I'm going to be spraying this time to speed the job up. And we can park it there next to the IFA. Now, before weeding, I'm hopping in the pickup, and that's because we've had some piglets born this morning, and that means it's time to sell some of the adult ones, and we have 6 pigs at the maximum price of $1,200, and because our animal trailer can only take 3 pigs, I think it's time to trade it in and upgrade it to something bigger that can cope with bigger loads. So I'm going to take this over to the distribution centre and we can get a upgrade. Take this round to the back and sell it. $2,341 back from that, which is good. And as a replacement, we are going to go with the LST 8.5. It's 17,500, but it can take, I think, 7 pigs. So that is going to be more beneficial for us. And it looks like it comes with a handy spade and brush. There we go. So not as colour coordinated with our case and international equipment as the previous, but nonetheless it will be a nice expansion upgrade. We made it to the animal farm, so we'll try and get in here without scraping the entranceway. And I'm going to get these pigs loaded and taken over to the dealer so they can be sold, and that'll be a nice bit of animal income for us. Job done, piggies sold, and we have a nice new animal trailer, which is good to have on the homestead. Fantastic. Right, next job we can jump in the farmall because it's spray time, and farmall is the perfect tractor for the job to get in there and amongst the weeds, and with the sprayer most certainly it's the best tractor size to run because it's only a small sprayer. But luckily it does span quite a width. And much like last month, we want to get in there and spray these weeds because the soybeans and sorghum have gone into their first growth stage, and we don't want to leave it any longer before spraying them, otherwise we risk damaging them. So we'll head on over to our area for liquid fertilizer, and I think we've got some barrels, yep, parked up on the side. I think it's the green ones. I can't remember quite what the yellow ones are, but we will double check. I think this is liquid fertilizer. Yep, it is. No, sorry, not liquid fertilizer. Herbicide. Yes, herbicide, not fertilizer. Right, let's head on over to Burfield first of all. And I think that is where our soybeans are. I will have to double check. But yes, they have germinated and sprouted now, which is fantastic. Let's just hop out and take a little look. Okay, yes, this is our soybeans in Burfield, and then across the way on the other side of the trees, Stone Endfield with sorghum. So let's head on in and get unfolded. Now I will try and drive along the rows as best I can here, so I'm not driving in the crop too much. And you can see the weeds are a little bit sporadic. They're not too much on the edge of the field, which is interesting. They seem to be mainly in the centre so they do often have quite a weird and wonderful clusterization. But let's switch this on now. There we go, sprayer on, and we can herbicide these weeds in both fields. Spray complete, folding up, and thankfully the weeds have done a disappearing act, which is good news for their yields come harvest time. So this larger field, stone end field, is indeed sorghum, and that is going to help our chickens and our horses by way of feed. And yes, the smaller field, bare field, is soybeans, so that's going to be again a good addition for our pig food. It provides the protein for them, and that's going to supplement what's already in the silo, which is good news. Now I'm just meandering my way back through the trees here, trying not to drive over Tim's memorial garden, as yes, we don't want to disturb that. But there we go, found our way, and I did have to refill the sprayer tank after we'd finished Burfield, just to make sure we weren't going to run out. I don't think we would have made it through both fields without refilling. But we can go park this away now. And in terms of jobs for June, I think that is us all done. We have done the weeding, I've gone and picked up the truck that I wanted to, and we've also sold the pigs. So I don't think there's anything else to do but wait for July, which is going to be harvest time for our oats in Newfield. Exciting, that is our biggest field, and we are going to get straw as a byproduct from that field, which means we can put the Niva Diva to good use. I want to be unattaching that and not unfolding it. Seem to be getting my buttons mixed up. But yes, we can park up the farm all and just have a little bit of a rest, recoup, check on the animals, and then I'll see you in July. There we go, it is July time, and aha, look at this, our corn has grown quite substantially. It is getting up there in terms of the growth, but it's not quite ready for us to forage harvest yet, but hopefully in the next month or so it will be. And in the second half of June, I got myself busy with the spade, just carving out a little bit of a track here so we can actually walk to a new field. And here we go. Our lovely golden oats ready to harvest, and oh yeah, they are looking good. 98% yield bonus. That's because it's the first crop that's gone in here, so we didn't have a chance to mulch any stalks and get up to 100%, but that will be plenty. So we need to ready the harvester and ready the truck and trailer, so we have somewhere to stash our oats as we are harvesting. And it is going to be a big harvest for the Niva Diva, but luckily it can collect up the straw and bale it as we work, so that is going to save us a job. Fire her up, and we'll get the header and take it over to probably the other entry point of the field, just because there's a bit more space for us to get the header attached. beacon on, because why not? And I have reattached the bale stacker, so as you can see we've got a little bit of straw packed in there from the last time we did bale stacking. And I can't remember which field that would have been from, to be honest. It was that long ago. I think we had some crops that didn't need the stacker. Now I'm going to try and squeeze down here, again where we have a little track. And the plan is hopefully to merge these two fields, field 3 and 4, together when we have harvested both the corn and the sugar beets, which will be exciting. Aha, and yes, I have done a little cut through to here. We've carved away the grass. So there's a nice little parking area over here for our header trailer. And potentially we've got space to put a shed over here, just on the edge of the field, sort of bordering with these rocks. Could put some small little modular shed just to house some equipment like balers. We are getting short of storage space already, so it will be useful. Let's get the header attached. Fantastic. And yes, we want to be going clockwise around the field, so we keep the auger pipe on the outside. There we go. I will just park up there for now and leave her running so I can go and get the truck and trailer. Hello Thomas, looks like you're keeping busy. And yes, speaking of Thomas, we might actually have to look at using the help of some of our settlers when it comes to the forage harvest of field number 3, because someone's going to need to run the harvester and someone's going to need to run a tractor and trailer so the forage harvester can deposit somewhere. And yes, I do actually need to get onto the distribution centre and see if they've got anything that's going to be viable as a forage harvester for us to utilise. Hopefully they've got something available. Who knows, something might be able to pull its own trailer, or we might need a assistant who's going to either harvest or do the carting for us. We will have to see how it goes. Right, where to position the truck and trailer? It is anyone's guess as to whether we are going to make it around a headland. I doubt we are, so I think probably to start with it's best just going in this pocket space here, and if we make it around a headland, brilliant. If we don't, we will have to come and jump in the truck and trailer and take it over to wherever we need to unload. But that is that for now. There we go, we can beacon off. And before I start, I just want to check in on the map. Because yes, I wanted to check that the weed spraying we did last time in Burfield and Stone Enfield has eradicated the weeds. And of course it has, which is good news. And we can see that we've got a nicely ready to harvest new field of oats. And looking at the other fields, I think the sorghum in Stone Enfield is going to be ready next. That does have the shortest growth window, sorghum. So, yeah, that'll be ready to harvest next. And then I'm hoping that the corn in field 3 is also going to be ready in the latter stage of growth, but not golden, as in we can harvest corn. It's going to be dark green, so we can do a forage harvest. And for the corn forage harvest, we are going to need somewhere to store all the chaff. So I'm thinking a silage bunker. But yes, we'll have to look into that. Right, let us get on with our oat harvest. So we will switch on and get underway. And we'll be harvesting oats and baling as we go. And there we have it. The homestead's biggest harvest completed. And we've gathered quite a large volume of oats. Be interesting to see how much we have got. But as you can see, we've got a nice plethora of straw bales in the field now, and they are scattered about quite a bit. But we will have to come back with I think we'll use the telehandler to load them up, and we'll probably get the Iveco with the flatbed to load them onto, so we can take them to the Dovecote, and we'll try and fill that up. I think it can take 100,000 litres, which we will fill pretty easily by my reckoning, and then the rest can go into the hayloft. Right, that's the header dropped off. We only have a little bit of straw left in the straw stacker on the harvester, and that's good news because, yes, we didn't want a near complete bale left in there because that would have been feeling a little bit wasteful. But yes, luckily we did empty a bale right near the end, and there were no rows of shame at the end, which was good news. We managed to gauge the width of the harvester quite well there. And I think we can go and park the harvester up. We're not going to need it until the sorghum harvest. That's not going to be next month, but probably the month after. We'll have to wait and see, actually. Could be sooner than I think. But yes, all the oats emptied from the harvester. Just a little bit of straw remaining, so we can get that parked up and go and see how many oats we have got in the trailer. I am hoping there is a lot of oats, but I'm also hoping we're not going to exceed the volume of our silo, because then we do have a problem. And header and Niva Diva parked off. Now I think I can't squeeze through there, so I'm going to have to go around behind the header. Fantastic. Right, so we've got time left. I think we can go and get the bales cleared away. I'm going to need the telehandler and the flatbed to load them onto. And our sugar beets look to be growing quite nicely. Not sure when they'll be ready. But before we go and get the bales collected, we need to check in on the IFA and how many oats we have. Ooh, 21,943 litres. That's only 48% of the trailer, but that is our largest harvest haul yet, which is really good news. Very happy with how that harvest went, and I just really enjoy using the Rostelmash Niva to do the harvesting because it can bale at the same time. And I think after this season we'll probably look to upgrade the harvester, but yes, I will most certainly miss using the Niva Diva because it is very time saving having the ability to bale as we go. Right, just driven through the little cut through that we've made, and hopefully all of these oats are going to fit in the silo. Aha, just as I feared, we have completely filled it up. So I'm probably going to have to put another silo extension on there, and we will have to look at a new silo solution for the future. There we go. Cost me 5,100, but we've added another silo extension on there, so we should be able to deposit the remainder of these oats in. And yes, I'm going to have to look at a new silo solution, one that can cope with the larger volumes of the homestead now. Right, grain trailer parked in there. We'll go and get the flatbed so we can load the bales onto that. Over the bridge into riverways, and the flatbed is conveniently parked behind the productions because we used it to load up all of our various bits from the wood turner and the pet accessories. Doesn't look like Derek has used the new truck yet, but I'm sure he'll enjoy it when he sees it. And we better get back so we can get the bales loaded on. Skim through the gap and we'll park somewhere central and nip back to get the telehandler. There we go, we're in the telehandler. I think I can leave the pallet fork here because We're not going to be using that back at the homestead anytime soon. So we'll drop that off, and I think the bale fork is in one of the sheds. Oh yes, I really made my life easy for myself by parking the new stone picker in front of the bale picker. Right, so I'm going to get stuck in loading some bales. Hopefully they all fit on there. They should do, but yes, might surprise ourselves. And I will try and load 2 at a time to save myself some time. And once they're all loaded, we can get them distributed between the dovecote and the hayloft. And there we go, successfully stacked, so we can go and inspect. Not my neatest stacking, but not my worst either, so that's not too bad at all. Right, we'll get these strapped on and hauled back over to the homestead. I think I might have missed one here. Yes, I did. There we go. These are some mighty big bales. They are quite heavy to handle, but the telehandler lifts them with ease. There we go. Pretty impressive. Right, let's get the telehandler parked up, and then we can come back for the bales. Now, I think I can just nip the telehandler in here for now, next to the mower, which we haven't used in a long time. There we go. What a big stack. We'll hop in the IFA. And oh my goodness, 140,000 litres of straw. That is pretty epic. So I think 100,000 litres of that is going to go into the dovecote. That's going to get activated and turned into straw over the series of months. It does convert, I think, probably, yeah, a few thousand litres per day into manure. And that manure is going to be vital for our next season's fertilisation using natural fertiliser, and that keeps the costs down on the homestead for sure. Not that we need to worry, because we have certainly passed the 1 million marker on the bank account, but we are going to have some expenditures coming up. We will need to buy a forage harvester and a suitable trailer to match. So let's head on over to the dovecote. I think I'm probably going to have to drop some bales off here to fill that up. So there we go, 100,000 litres dropped off, and there's 42,000 litres of straw left for us to go put in the hayloft. And the hayloft straw is predominantly used for TMR, so that's going to keep us in good stock for the future. There we go, we'll just back up to the hayloft so we can get these bales unloaded. So there we go, that's all unloaded, so we should see that we've got 48,000 litres of straw in there, 68,000 litres of hay, and yeah, that's going to keep us well stocked for all the TMR needs. Superb job. And I think I'm just going to leave the IFA with the flatbed here for now, and we can run that back to Riverways later on. But that is it for today. It has been a busy and interesting one, spanning 2 months. In July we saw to selling some of our pigs. We did the spray herbicide weeding of Burfield and Stone End Field, so they are good until harvest time now. And yes, look forward to the sorghum, which will be ready to harvest next. And then we harvested our mega oats in New Field, our biggest harvest yet. And of course we managed to yield quite a lot of straw from that field, and that has maximised, filled up our dovecote, so we will have manure for a long time coming. And yes, we've also got a good amount of straw in the hayloft for TMR. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is I hope to see you again next time on The Frontier Farmer. And until then, I'll catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.